Hi there gamers, I'm Respawn Roscoe from mygameslounge.com and I've been playing The Witcher 3 this week. This is part of a double header today, so make sure you check out the Final Fantasy X HD video. I've been looking at that game as well. It's just magnificent, one of my favourite games. But this one, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, is slowly becoming one of my favourite games, even after about 8 to 10 hours worth of play this week. It's really good. Now obviously the reviews are out and we've seen it all. It's getting 9s, 10s, there are a few dips under it as you would expect, but generally speaking it's renowned as a fantastic RPG. So that being said, we're not going to rush to get the review out. You already know it's good. What we're going to do is take our time and do a little bit of something a bit differently. So I'm playing it on Deathmatch difficulty. Now it was explained to me as you just watch the opening elements of the game, which show a little bit of a comic book background of what happened. It was explained to me that the game was perhaps on normal mode a bit easy and I should start it on hard. So I had a look at the difficulties. So as you can see, I've just got the difficulties highlighted there for you. Blood and Broken Bones is the one that people recommend you play as, because normal would allow you to basically just almost button mash your way through it, but I started it on the top difficulty, mainly because I saw a very shiny golden trophy and thought, yeah, why not, let's try and get that. I'm only going to play it through once, I'm not going to keep going back and back and back, I don't think anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to do it on top and see how that goes. And so far I have to say it's tricky, but it's not Bloodborne or Dark Souls. It just requires you to think about what you're doing. In a similar way, you've got to use parry and dodge and all those kind of things. Rolling's a little bit not helpful at times. It doesn't get you enough distance, I don't think. So first tip, don't roll. Especially against big things, like there's a griffin later on in this video. I'm not going to talk through all of it, but there is a griffin towards the end. You can watch me killing that, which is fun, really good battle. But yeah, don't roll away from it, just use the dodge, although it took me a few goes to realise that, and I'm starting to get to grips with it now. But generally, I've heard this mentioned. I'm going to bring this up because it's annoying me and people keep saying this. It's unplayable. I've seen that mentioned. Oh, it's unplayable right now. Utter bollocks. That is an English word, by the way, if you're from overseas. It means not true whatsoever. It's garbage. That'll do. Yeah, it's not unplayable. It has a few glitches when the frame rate changes. Now I believe, just from my amateur kind of analysis, is that it's worse when it loads in the background and saves in the background, which you can kind of understand. Now the PlayStation 4 version, which you're watching footage from now, has a different issue to the Xbox One. The PlayStation 4 version flows quite nicely and every now and again does a little jerk, whereas the Xbox One version, I believe, is more traditional and does like a kind of a slow down thing and things just kind of like ooh, go a little bit ooh, and then pick back up again. So it is not unplayable. It's just like your general open world game. There is a little bit of a frame rate kind of debate here, and I think it's more in the capping of the frame rate than it is actually in the build of the game. Now one thing that has also come out this week is that CD Projekt Red have, in my view, unnecessarily kind of apologised for, I don't want to say downgrading, but maybe not making the game look as good as when they released the gameplay trailer, you know, way back a few years ago. But people need to get a grip. This game looks stunning. Yes, it doesn't look quite the same as it did when they showed the gameplay trailer, but what games do? I mean, you know, game engine is very different from an actual playable game, and people need to accept that people are going to try and show the game to what they want it to be, and sometimes it just can't be done. But I'll tell you now that the game looks really good. As you can see, there's just a little bit of gameplay going on. I've gotten myself into a little bit of a bar fight here. This is reasonably early on in the game, and yeah, you just have to kick these guys around a little bit. But obviously on the harder difficulty, you can't just allow them to, even ordinary guys will knock you out, so you just got to try and keep your distance and keep your guard up and knock them out as much as you can. Now this is really impressive. It doesn't seem like the map is actually that big, because this is just one area, but that's one area within this entire world. So the actual scope of the world is massive, and I believe that the areas are just kind of there to help you get around. It wouldn't stop you from just, you know, riding off into the distance and going to these areas manually. There is a lot of kind of fast travel in there, so you don't have to continuously go through. So what I've done is I've just been following the main plot here, and I've come to meet this guy. Now this guy really impressed me because his armor looked stunning. This is the video taken off the PlayStation 4, so this is 720p 1080p. His outfit, his armor, it's just so shiny, and it just looks like it's jumping off the screen at you. Utterly beautifully designed, the detail. And I like the fact that things look 3D. The things like Geralt's necklace, his Witcher necklace, it doesn't look like it's just, you know, a flat 2D piece of paper, almost like, you know, they do in some games. It looks solid. So this is showing the fast travel mechanic. You can use the signposts, you know, you know, you'll know about this, but some people won't. You just use a signpost fast travel to get you back to other areas you've been before. So you can just zip around a small area of the map. It just makes getting around easier, although your horse is really cool to ride, I have to say. So yeah, size of the world is good. Tips: get onto the notice boards and get doing some side quests and adventures. Make some money, make some experience, get yourself strong as you possibly can. Now what I do like about the game is this: it's not just a case of, ooh, walk around monsters, whack them around. There's a lot of conversation. It's very much an RPG. I've done a first impressions article on My Games Lounge. I've put that in the not Twitter. I've put that in the YouTube card at the top right of this video, so you can go on to that and just have a look at my written first impressions. But I love the fact it's an RPG. You have to investigate things, and this is you hunting a griffin, but you're not just going off, oh yeah, I need to hunt a griffin, I'm going to kill it. This is actually finding out what's happened. So I'm going to use my Witcher sensors, find out where the griffin is. I found a dead one, so obviously the other one's angry about what's happening, and that's why it's killing people. So there's a lot of richness to it, there's a lot of conversation, and I really like that tone it takes. It's constantly reminding you, I'm an RPG, I'm not an action game. Yes, the combat's action packed and it's responsive, and you have to think about it, but it is a proper traditional RPG with a lot of conversation and a lot of conversation options. This is the gameplay of me killing this griffin. I'm just going to let you watch it. There's some tips in the article on mygameslounge.com in the text, so just go on to mygameslounge.com. Again, the article's in the YouTube card. Just click on it. I've got some tips for you, just a few things to kind of advise you on best practice doing the deathmatch difficulty. But no, enjoy the rest of this little fight with the griffin. I assure you, it doesn't look like it. I've made it look like I did it first time. I didn't. It took me a fair few goes to beat this thing. It was quite beast on this difficulty. So enjoy, and we'll see you on mygameslounge.com for more The Witcher 3.
Watch out! It's about to die! Damn! It's fast! Don't let it get away! Damn, you're ugly. Not bad. Not bad. Though you could stand to improve some things.
For example?
Upward vertical strike. It's too obvious. But more on that later. Take the Griffin's head to the Black Ones. I'll ready our horses. Meet me at the inn.